this video, I want to give you guys a handful of ways to speed up probably the 3 most time-consuming parts of any interior detail. So after detailing for literally over a decade now, I found that there are reliably parts of specific types of details that take longer than others, and I found some tools and products that make those things faster, and so I want to give that to you. The very first area that ends up tripping people up is going to be areas like the steering wheel, the cup holders, and the console. For all of these areas, it's important to understand I'm talking about cars that are not maintained on a regular basis. So if you're detailing like a maintenance client's car, this probably doesn't apply. But those areas are going to be reliably some of the most time-consuming areas because they gather the most dirt, not only because that's where the most nasty stuff gets put, so your hands on the steering wheel, cups in the cup holder, food, but they're also the areas that don't get cleaned the most because people are used to them being dirty, or there's a bunch of cracks and crevices that normal people don't really have the tools to get to. So the very first tip I suggest for you in order to speed up those areas is to actually pre-treat those areas with your favorite chemical before you actually start the detail. While you're setting up your steamer, while you're setting up your stuff, take your all-purpose cleaner, spray it into the cup holder, spray it into the console, allow that stuff to sit. Then by the time you actually get to that area, it's extremely easy to almost clean without any other tool but just a microfiber towel. Now the second tip for these areas is really important, and I kind of call it my dentist cleaning method. Basically, put a wet filter inside of your vacuum, and rather than trying to vacuum up the debris a bunch and then spray chemical and then agitate it and then wipe up the chemical and then vacuum some more, we can actually use our vacuum to mop up the liquid, because if you're cleaning out something like a nasty deep cup holder, a nasty deep console, it's difficult to get your hand in all of those areas. I will often take my steamer and my vacuum at the same time, kind of like a dentist takes that water sprayer with that suction tool at the same time and sprays water and suctions it out. That's what we're doing with our steamer or with our chemical and our vacuum at the same time. It's also why it's helpful to have a wet vacuum filter for things like this, especially if you're detailing a really nasty cup holder, a really nasty console where there's like gummy bears and food and all that sort of stuff. Rather than getting that all over your microfiber towel, let the cleaner sit, dwell, break it down, then take your vacuum and go straight in to suck in all that liquid. That's what a wet dry filter and a wet dry vac is actually for. Now the next area that slow detailers down that take a lot of their time in interiors is going to be the carpets. The reason for that is because in some ways, no matter what car you're detailing, especially average cars, there's an endless amount of detailing you could be doing when you're detailing the carpets. Probably one of the best strategies you could implement is not removing the floor mats, vacuuming and shampooing, then removing the floor mats. The only reason I say this is because if there are floor mats down that are not rubber weather mats, but that are carpeted mats, most of the dirt is going to be on top of the mat or on the borders of the exposed carpet that is not removable. If you vacuum all of that up first, then by the time you remove the floor mat, the only thing there is tiny little bits of debris here and there that can be taken care of with a 2-second vacuum, and the carpeted area underneath the floor mat generally doesn't need to be shampooed at all. So if you were to shampoo the area that is bordering the carpet floor mat that's exposed and the floor mat that's removable, that's going to constitute most of the area that even needs to be cleaned in the first place. Now, in addition to that, there are 3 tools I suggest for this particular part of the car. Number 1, just your classic air compressor with an air gun. This is just a straight air gun. It's going to blast direct lines of air at the carpet. It's very helpful for the impossible carpet. Second, it's the Tornador air gun. Now, I like the Tornador classic tool as much as anybody, but the reality is the Tornador air gun is the least expensive tool that the Tornador series offers, and it's the one I reach for the most. The vortex nature of the air makes it really helpful when you're trying to vacuum up stuff without introducing liquid. And finally, a simple drill brush, a cone drill brush, a 2-inch drill brush, a 4-inch drill brush. All of those have their place, and they can really stir up a lot of dirt in those bordered, exposed areas in the impossible carpeting, making your vacuuming experience a lot easier. Now, the third area I want to give you guys 2 major tips on are the door jambs, and we'll break them down into clean door jambs and dirty door jambs, because most of you guys know if you're detailing something like a maintenance client, the door jambs are probably not that bad, but on some cars, door jambs get really nasty because they are always looked over by the customer and they never get detailed ever. So let's start with the really nasty door jambs. I would always take a pressure washer to the door jambs first, soak it in 5-to-1 degreaser, something like Super Clean, and there are 2 brushes I would reach for. Of course, your classic detailing brush, but in addition to that, there are actually toilet bowl brushes that have softer bristles on the end. That type of brush can be really helpful because it's a round shape and it's a long neck, and it allows you to get in all of those areas really, really quickly. The pressure washer should be doing most of the work in those scenarios. Now, after that, you're going to top it with something, but before I tell you what it is, on relatively clean door jambs, I don't break out the hose at all, and I save a ton of time because I can use something like my steamer to address any areas that need a little bit of rinsing done, but I can lightly spray a light cleaner, mop it up with my towel, and get the excess pushed down and rinsed with my steamer, so I'm not introducing a a bunch of water. That's one of the ways that I cut my door jamb cleaning time in half. I just simply don't use running water. Now, whether you're dealing with dirty door jambs or clean door jambs, I don't focus on getting this area perfect because it's not worth it. There's naturally grease in the door jambs that's actually supposed to be there for the sake of the opening and closing of the door, and it makes it a little nuanced when you're trying to clean them perfectly because there's supposed to be some nastiness in there for the function that it serves. So that being said, I actually don't over clean these areas in the first place, and that's going to be a way that you can save time anyways. But because we don't over clean them, there can still be some dried dirt and kind of surface level dust when the water dries that makes it look kind of not uniform and a little ugly. And in cases like that, I suggest two different products. The first product is a very easy product to get. It's from Stoner, called their More Shine Tire Shine. This is literally an aerosol can, silicone-based tire dressing. It can be used on engines, can be used on black trim, and it works perfectly even over clear-coated painted surfaces in the door jamb. It just creates a uniform appearance. The same thing is done with the P&S No Rub coating. They're really very similar products. This one is a little bit of a lighter coating product, so it's a little bit nicer looking, in my opinion, on things like door panels or dashboards or something like that that's more exposed. But in the door jamb area, you can go for something a little bit less expensive like this. It just creates a uniform coat over the entire thing. All right, guys, those are the three major areas of interiors that often slow people down and some very simple ways to speed up in those areas if you are struggling. Now, I'll hook up the tools and products I suggest for each of these areas in the YouTube description box below. More importantly, if you're interested in the top 12 tools and products I suggest for every detailer, no matter their business and no matter where they are, I'll hook up that top 12 tools and products list below as well. All of those are available for under $500, so it's a great way to start your business if you're getting involved in the industry. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard, and I'll see you in the next video.